Your mic is muted. What's up, people? Welcome to PVT.
Hi, guys.
Your boy Moo. There he goes. Moo, you motherfucker. You motherfucker, Moo.
But as we know, my boy DJ Micah B is always ready. My boy Will always ready, just in case that we have some technical difficulties. So I'm trying this again. Welcome to PVT, Player versus Team, and I'm back with my guys, DJ Micah B. And y'all know my main guy, my co-host, Willie Beeman.
What's up?
Man, y'all already know what it is. I stay ready just in case somebody can't host at a certain point.
That's your eloquent DJ skills and co-host skills from having your own podcast for years coming through.
But let me clarify my opening thoughts when I said Moo, you motherfucker. Oh, Moo. Oh, Moo. I know why you did what you did, but you motherfucker.
Come on now. You know, there's always a reason for the madness.
How
you doing today, my guy?
I'm good. I'm pretty sure Willie got a laugh. Willie's probably back there rolling when you cut me off like that. I was starting. You know what? He did it because I was starting to cook. Like I was starting to cook for real.
I was hoping that you was just gonna keep talking until we roll into the show. We was just gonna roll right into it. But you know, technical difficulties and stuff. Willie, how was your Father's Day, my guy?
Good, man. Appreciate you asking. Very good. Went to Dave and Buster's.
There it is.
That's always a win.
And then after that, I gotta give my girl Diana a shout out. Watched her stream. Big Pokemon fan. Watched her stream for the rest of about an hour and a half. Watched the rest of her stream on Twitch, and it was a good day.
Yeah. Hey,
what does she stream on Twitch with?
She does a lot of Pokemon competitive.
Okay. We might have to do a Pokemon show just to get her on real quick. You never.
Oh yeah.
We Pokemon. Well, I'm the original 150 Pokemon fan. I don't know about all these other ones after that.
I've been playing since the days of Red, Blue, and Yellow.
I've been playing since that too. But I kind of stopped at Pokemon Stadium because Pokemon Stadium was that shit, and I don't think no other Pokemon game could ever touch it.
You might have a point there.
DJ Micah B basically just said he's an OG and he don't know who these new niggas is.
Hey, my shit stopped at Mew and Mewtwo. He
ain't seen the season 9 mon yet. He ain't seen Gen 9 yet.
Let me tell you something. When the animation changed,
boy,
Micah walked out.
I'm telling you, that Gen 9. Listen, that Gen 9. I'm telling you, put Mew and Mewtwo to shame.
Hey, I believe you. I definitely believe you. But here's my thing. How long this nigga gonna be 10? This man been backpacking across the world since the 90s. It's 2024 and he's still 10. He just won his first tournament. This man walked the earth for 20 years without any parental supervision at 10 years old to be a Pokemon master, and finally won his first tournament last year or this year. I don't remember which year it was.
You know good and damn well he couldn't have been no black kid. His grandma would let him go no damn well. Bring your ass back in when the street light cut on.
Grandma would have went into the woods and found his ass and brought him home already.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
If he was black, he would have known when that sun went down and that street light came on, he should have been home 10 minutes ago.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He had a goal.
That's a discussion because the thing that gets me up until recently, we didn't really have no black trainers in Pokemon.
Gary.
Not until recently.
What about Gary?
Huh?
What about Gary?
I mean,
Gary kicked ass.
You can still invite Gary to the cookout, but I'm just saying.
I really
look like us.
See a black
Gary's from Gen 1.
To look like us.
Gary's from Gen 1.
He's from Gen 1. But to look like us, until recently, ain't been no brother or no sister trainer. Not until recently.
You ain't gonna find nobody look like this because they not like us.
Nope.
Bar.
Nope.
In my defense, right? or in Pokemon's defense, I should say, I don't think we necessarily needed any true trainers like that when we had my boy Big Brock.
Facts.
Motherfucking Pokemon master, and he was a dad, damn near big bro, to motherfucking 9-10 siblings out here. Like Brock was doing it. Okay?
I always say Gary, and let me tell you why I always say Gary, because Gary didn't give a fuck.
He didn't.
That's true. Gary was a nigga in his own right.
On the train to beat you, and Gary was like, "Yeah, come catch that fade, my dude. Come on, single time.
Every time.
Brock for sure with his damn Onyx. Good Lord.
You feel me?
He ain't ever open. Did he ever? I don't ever remember him opening his eyes.
You know what I mean?
He never opened his eyes.
And
let's not forget, Alakazam and Charizard are really black people out here.
Air Force energy. Okay, black
Charmeleon too. No. Charmeleon too. Charmander is the soft one, but when he evolved, he turned into a straight nigga.
You want to know what Charmeleon is? Charmeleon is he's a Gen Z nigga. Like he's what we see nowadays. Just don't care if he had a hat that was backwards and some Jordan 11s on with some cargo shorts or something like that. He would be from Gen Z.
Nah. He not wearing Jordan 11s. That man he wearing black Air Force Ones.
He got black
Charmeleon and Charizard both wear black Air Force Ones. They don't give a damn what Ash say. My dude, we're not listening to you. But Charizard the real one, because when Ash was getting his ass handed to him, Charizard came back and was like, "Say, I don't like this dude, but I'm loyal." And he fed me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you feel me? And that's what we do, right? You feel me? It's like, I may not really rock with bro like that, but you're not gonna put your hands on my homie like that.
Yeah, in my dark days, he was there.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like that's my homie at the end of the day. Like I may not like him, nigga. I can slap him with my tail, but hey, that don't mean your homie can slap him with his tail. Nah, you
Only
can't
me.
do it, bro.
Only me.
Charizard was Ash's big brother. Like, say, bro, I can mess with you, but they can't. And that's what it was.
I can beat you up, bro. But them niggas can't beat you up, bro. No, that's not good like that, nigga. So who is it, nigga? We finna go beat these niggas the fuck up. But
see what you did? You see what you did, Willie? You got us on a whole rant about Pokemon.
We are multifaceted over here. We can't talk about any.
We are nerds. Nerds. I just want to inform everybody.
Most definitely.
That is what we do. As you see, the background in the back. I know it's blurred out, but y'all know what it is.
Hey, Moo. Before we continue with the show, Willie, I don't know if you caught Gentleman's Talk last night, because I think you do a podcast on Wednesday nights too, right?
I do.
Okay, so I just got to ask you. We did a Mount Rushmore of fictional black characters. Give me a Mount Rushmore real quick.
Damn.
Just off the top of your head.
Fictional black characters.
Yep, it could be animated. It could be whatever. It's your four.
Jon Stewart.
Fire.
That's one that wasn't said last night.
Static Shock. Virgil.
Mook said him last night.
That was my first pick.
My nigga Piccolo.
See, I knew I wasn't alone. I tried to tell y'all.
You're real for that.
My nigga Piccolo. My nigga Piccolo. And don't know if you know this guy or not, but he need to get some more love because Marvel ain't doing nothing to help his ass out. Adam Bashir, who is also known. You know, who's also known as Blue Lightning, Blue Marvel.
That's Blue Marvel. Yeah,
that's a fire list.
Yep.
Fire.
I think Jeremy also picked Jon Stewart, right?
Yeah, no, Jeremy. He did pick Jon Stewart. Yeah, but
good.
We did a lot of no repeats. So
yeah, we all had a list of like 8, and we couldn't repeat anybody.
Yeah,
right.
The list got real dope. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I even put. I don't know, Willie. I don't want to tell your age on here, but you. I don't know how much you watched Rugrats when you were young. I know you a little bit older than me. But I put Susie Carmichael on my list.
Fire.
I know. I got kids. I know Rugrats. I know Rugrats. First of all,
Susie Carmichael was a G. She bullied the bully. That's what Kendrick Lamar did. Kendrick Lamar bullied the bully.
The only thing I got to say about Rugrats, those are the worst parents in parental history.
I'm crying.
Terrible parents.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Bro, no, he's right. Because them kids are outside doing whatever the hell they wanted to, using their imagination. They fighting a snake. And whenever they come back to reality, they playing with the water hose, letting water spray everywhere, all on the house.
Hell yeah.
Man,
he said all of the house.
Damn the parents. Those kids was bad as shit.
Bad as hell.
Hey, my boy Tommy was lit though with the screwdriver in his diaper. He was lit. He used to bounce out. What baby's got to do, what a baby's got to do. And you feel me? Bow. Hit the pop the lock on the gate.
Hey,
out of here.
Hey, yeah. Y'all remember the theme song for the Talking Tommy?
Yeah.
As Talking Tommy talks, a baby's got to do what a baby's got to do.
Oh man, hey man! Shout out to the '90s, man! Shout out.
All right, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into some basketball. I know we got Al Horford and whatnot on the thumbnail, but before we get there, let's go ahead and talk about some recent news going on in the NBA right now. First news: Caruso and Josh Giddey have swapped places. Josh Giddey is on the way to Chicago. Caruso is coming out to OKC, Oklahoma. Fellas, how we feeling? DJ, I'm gonna start with you. We got to really got a good conversation in the back. So DJ, I'm gonna start with you.
First of all, this shit came out of left field. I just wanted to tell everybody that I think Sleeper was the one that broke the news originally with
Bleacher.
Bleacher.
Yeah, one of those.
I got them both. So Bleacher was the one that broke the news, and then ESPN finally confirmed it during the day. It's very rare that we see a straight up swap of players in trade. So I want to start there. But this is something that I don't even think 2K would have accepted in a trade. Like I don't see how robbed. The Bulls got robbed. Maybe that's yet to be seen because we don't know how good Josh Giddey can be. But on the flip side of this, Caruso going to where did Caruso go to?
OKC Thunder.
Yeah. I don't see where Caruso is going to fit in on OKC. I really don't. I have no idea how he's going to fit into it. If I was OKC, I would have ran it back one more year.
Me too.
Because I think they were right on the cusp of doing something great this year. If had they moved, who did they play? They play Dallas in the second round.
They played Dallas and lost.
Had they beat Dallas this year, and I made the reference. I think on this show I made the reference. If they beat Dallas, it would be like the Cowboys beating San Francisco 1 year early, before they were truly ready to actually go to a Super Bowl, and they beat San Francisco a year early. And I made that reference. I was like, and they probably just needed one more year together, and I think they would have made a Western Conference Finals. I guess the bigger picture here is when you look at it, Josh Giddey was a no-show in the second round of the playoffs.
This is true.
Facts.
Josh Giddey was a virtual no-show, and I still think even without Josh Giddey playing really, really good as he did in the season, he didn't play that well in the first round either, and they still got past. I forgot who they played in the first round. Damn it. But OKC finished number 1, so they played the 8th seed. So, I mean, it's a weird trade. It's a weird trade, man. I don't see the benefit from either team. I don't think the Bulls gain any. I don't think the Bulls gain a step in the right direction, nor do I think they lose a step in the right direction. And I don't think OKC gets a step in the right direction, but I don't think they gain anything in the right. On the outside looking in, I guess it's a pretty even trade. And I think whatever happens next season is probably going to be equal whenever you balance it out. Because I think OKC might regress a little bit, because then I don't foresee them being the number 1 seed again overall. I think the Timberwolves pretty much have it figured out now to where they'll probably jump everybody and be number 1. And Denver, they had Jamal Murray injured most of the season, so when Jamal Murray comes back, they can easily grab the number 1 seed in the West. Not easily, but they'll be competing for the number 1 seed. I think OKC might finish 3rd, and I think if they kept Josh Giddey, they would probably finish 3rd next season too. It baffles me. You know what I'm saying? It blows my mind. But hey, it is what it is. I don't necessarily know what either team was thinking. And maybe it was just both teams just wanted to shake up the roster a little bit because they felt like they have reached the ceiling with what they had. on their teams. But this isn't a needle mover for either team. I think both teams are still going to be. I think Chicago will still be in the play-in or right at the 8th seed next year if they don't make any more changes. And I think OKC will still finish with home court advantage in the playoffs. So whatever, man. I mean, if both teams like it, good for them. This is not a if they like it, I love it situation. This is a if they like it, well, what the hell? Try it.
Understandable. Willie, how we feeling?
Being a Bulls fan up here, I get why, but I also don't like it. I don't like it because Giddey didn't play well the second half of the season in playoffs. I don't like it. You also look at the situation he's coming out of, and I don't like that either. You giving away someone who two-time defensive player, all-star defensive player, positive in the locker room, positive throughout the community over the OKC for this dude who you don't know where he's coming from. If you go back and look at his press conferences in the playoffs, he wasn't in the best state of mind then.
Right.
And everybody keeps saying, well, he's 21. He's 21. He's going to get opportunity with the Bulls. I got a question. Kobe White's playing well. You taking the ball out of Kobe White's hands for this dude?
That's a good point.
And then if they draft, who I think they're going to draft, Rob Dillingham from Kentucky, that's a bad man. I don't know. I just don't trust it. I just don't trust it because of what the season he's coming off of. And I'm happy that the Bulls did make a move. They haven't made no move in 2-3 years. But I just don't like this move. He plays, his defense is suspect. His advanced metrics are good. But again, you trusting Billy Donovan with this guy. Billy Donovan ain't been that dude in a long time. So
hold on now, wait a minute.
I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this.
Not fair.
Now DJ did bring up a good point. You could have gave him Zach, but you can't make those contracts match. Ain't no way in the world you make those contracts match. So I just don't like it. But again, you get Rob Dillingham in the draft, like I think the Bulls are gonna do. You got Kobe White coming off a good season. Even if you let Lonzo Ball go, which is the proposed rumor, if Giddey can give you anything, it's gonna be in the bonus. And he's young.
I just want to point out your Billy Donovan take is wild. I just want to point
I don't like Billy. And the
only
only reason why I say that is because if you go back and you look at this team, it's an older team. It's an older team. You think he would be able to get these veterans in gear and be consistent night in, night out, maybe no more than a 6 seed. He can't do it. It's already been proven.
They've also dealt with a lot of injuries years back to back though.
Okay.
That's true.
Even when Billy was with OKC, Billy has never had an ideal situation for any coach. Ever. He's never had an ideal situation. I mean, he took the job once Kevin Durant was gone, and it was Westbrook and Steven Adams.
Yep.
Like I just got to ask you, Willie, is there any team that you think Billy Donovan had where he underachieved? Because Zach LaVine was hurt all year.
He was.
He didn't play. Kobe White played, and Kobe White was balling under Billy Donovan. DeMar DeRozan played, and he was balling, but the talent around them, because you're barred with, or you're halted with Zach LaVine out, Nikola Vucevic contract, and then the only two playing are DeMar DeRozan and Kobe White. And Kobe White taking the jump for them.
Yes.
Lucky enough, because they would have, if Kobe White didn't take the jump, they would have won even less games. This is how I feel the same way about Byron Scott. Byron Scott has had to take whatever opportunities come his way, and it's never good ones. He hasn't been given a opportunity with a team that's ready to compete for a championship. So I'm not saying, This is not Scott Skiles.
Right.
This ain't Scott Skiles having Westbrook and Kevin Durant, Nick Collison, James Harden, and them underachieving, or then him leaving and going to Washington D.C. with Bradley Beal and John Wall. I don't blame him for Washington because John Wall got hurt when they had their best season, and they could have probably went to the finals had John Wall not broke his hand. But Billy Donovan has not been in a situation yet where it's like he's underachieved. If anything, Billy Donovan has done is overachieved because nobody expected the Bulls to make the playoffs.
But let me ask you this though. Playing is that
I don't count it as the playoffs.
But I'm saying, do we look at the measure of success for a team as consistently making the play-in?
No.
Is that success?
Well, hold on. Well,
that's my point.
It depends. It depends. And let me tell you why it depends. Because last year, Sacramento made the playoffs, right?
True.
This year, they didn't even make the play-in. So, depending on the personnel you have, yes, because like I say all the time, there's chemistry and synergy. Synergy is when chemistry sums up to be more than what the individual parts are. I think the Bulls making the play-in was a success just because from the outside looking in, you weren't going to have Lonzo. Zach LaVine, when he got hurt, you knew you weren't going to have no more Zach LaVine. It was all on DeMar DeRozan, and then Kobe White stepped up. And DeMar DeRozan was in and out of the lineup too from being hurt. When you put all that into consideration, and you still had a chance to compete for a playoff spot.
But here's the thing. He's still at the end of the day, and I get what you're saying. Take the success for what you have. Injuries, you count all that in there. But at the end of the day, we all know what this league is. This is a results-driven league. That's what this is. And if you constantly are getting to the playing game and constantly losing to the Miami Heat every doggone year, somebody got to take the brunt for that.
Hey, okay, that's fine. So somebody's got to take. You said somebody do. Okay, that's fine. But if Billy Donovan is overachieving with the roster he has every year and getting to play-in game, who takes the blunt? Who takes the blunt for that? Upper management is going to say Billy Donovan is supposed to take the blunt of the blame. But what's your common sense tell you? Your common sense tell you that upper management isn't building a team properly.
Oh, I'm not absolving that front office. I'm not absolving them at all. But I'm just saying it's a dumpster fire because at either turn you're not drafting well, and then the players that you do have, Donovan's not doing what he needs to get them over the hump.
Or how about this?
It's the playoffs.
Or how about this? I'm a Rockets fan. Y'all know I'm a Rockets fan. I'm from Houston. Yep. You already know. How about the years when the Rockets made it to the playoffs every single year, and we all knew they wasn't going to win the championship, but they were competing every single year? You know what that means? You made it to the playoffs, so you don't get a lottery pick.
This is true.
If you're winning 34, if you're winning 34 games in the East and you get into the playoffs and you don't get a lottery pick because you won 34 games, now the backside, it just depends on your record. You're also not getting a high draft pick either.
No.
That's the flip side. So if I was upper management or Billy, you'd be like, look, trade away everybody. Let's get a top 5 pick and try and build around that. Because that's what a lot of teams, you can't stay competing in the middle forever. Like if the Rockets wouldn't have made the trade for James Harden and James Harden wouldn't have turned out the way he was, we would have still been in the middle with Aaron Brooks, Kyle Lowry, Jeremy Lin, those guys, that team where it was just, they were winning 42 games every year. They were finishing 7th or 8th in the West, and you're not getting a generational player because your record isn't low enough for you to even have a chance to get a generational player. You make the playoffs in the West is what you're doing. You keep making the playoffs, and to be like people say, you either need to be really good or really bad, because it had the 76ers kept what's Michael Carter Williams.
Michael Carter Williams.
Yeah, they kept Michael Carter Williams on the team, and he did what he did, and they kept on winning 41 games a year. They would have still been in the same predicament they were.
That's the reason why they traded Jimmy Butler.
Correct.
That's the reason why they traded Jimmy Butler. All I'm saying is this: at some point, you have to do what you need to get this team over the hump. And Donovan is not. I feel that Donovan is not that guy. If you want AC playing production from your team, if you're happy with that as a Bulls fan, I got an issue with you because you're a fan. You should expect more from what your coach is doing. You should definitely expect more than what that trash front office is doing. Get it together.
So the person that should take the blunt of this blame, literally, he should take all the blame, is whoever y'all trash ass GM is, because he sucks. Him put in Zach LaVine, ball dominant guard, DeMar DeRozan, mid-range specialist, Nikola Vucevic, close to the basket specialist, together on one team was absolutely fucking crazy. Because those pieces
with no point.
Fit. They
with
don't,
no point.
They don't fit.
Mark Everson.
I don't give a damn if you get Phil Jackson from the Lakers in 2009, 2010 to come coach this team. They're not going to be good. The pieces don't fit. Zach LaVine is a shooting guard playing point guard because Lonzo got hurt. Granted, when Lonzo was playing point guard, it worked out phenomenally because Lonzo could run the offense. But you don't have what you have in Chicago right now is a bunch of damn combo guards playing point guard.
And you also have a smaller team out there each and every night, and they get destroyed for those small lineups that Donovan rolls out there. Look, my whole thing is this: I want to see my team do well. I want to see my team do good. And is a GM trash? Yep. Is there the worst GM other than maybe Detroit? And we're gonna get into Detroit, and we're gonna get into Detroit in a minute.
But we're definitely getting into Detroit in just a second.
We're gonna get into them in a minute. But outside of that, I just feel that this team should be better than what they are. And if they get Dillingham, like I think they're gonna do at pick 11 this year in the draft.
Hey Willie, before you go ahead, what you think your team should do? Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Right, a serious question. Name me all the All-Stars on the Chicago Bulls.
Oh shit! From
currently, like they currently. I give me All-Stars or All NBA. Any single one, any one of them. Go ahead. Don't worry. Like that would say, don't worry. I'll wait.
You can't.
Right. So any team, even Jalen Brunson is an All-Star and an All-NBA player with the Knicks. Julius Randle was well on his way to be either an All-Star or All-NBA before he got hurt, even with the Knicks. Think about that. Y'all don't have a single All-Star or All-NBA player. The All-NBA player you have is All-NBA defensive, and you just traded him.
You just traded him. Because somebody who just
no coach can be successful that way, especially if you're not getting the top pick with a play. Kobe White is the player who has the most upside. Do you think in the next 2 years Kobe White will be an All-Star player? Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Possible.
You can't. He has an outside possibility of doing
outside possibility.
Just because he's in the East.
Only
just because he's in the East.
Because he ain't doing it in the West. Because it's too guard dominant.
Right. Exactly. So technically, the close play you have to All-Star is DeMar DeRozan, who's on the wrong side of 30. Agreed. We don't know if Zach LaVine could be an All-Star because Zach LaVine is never healthy enough to be a damn All-Star.
Always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I just think
Billy. Billy Donovan has been overachieving with this team. You can't blame Billy.
I think that's a fair point because when you look at Billy Donovan, you look at the Bulls teams, right? They tried to do everything, and I get it. The pieces that they brought in didn't fit, right? You bring in Lonzo, you bring in Vooch, you bring in DeMar, right? You trade for Caruso, and it's just like you have a whole bunch of, and I'm not even going to say a whole bunch of combo guards. I think you have a whole bunch of true shooting guards that they tried to ask. I tried to ask play point guard, and that's always hard, right? Because you're asking them to essentially become a combo guard, and not everybody can do that. But when it comes
to D Wade,
yes, shout out to D Wade.
it has something to do with the injuries that pile up. And I'm not going to sit up here and say that he's running them wild or whatever the case may be, but I think it probably has something to do with whatever kind of workouts that they're doing or whatever kind of lifts that they're doing. I have no idea, girl. Whatever kind of strength and conditioning that they're doing and or not doing, because every single time they get close to the playoffs, people are getting hurt, right? You got Lonzo that's been hurt for a few years. Zach LaVine can't stay healthy. Patrick Williams, their promising rookie or the promising young dude was supposed to be on the court. He got hurt, right? I think somebody else got hurt in it again towards the playoffs. So Caruso ended up getting hurt again towards the playoffs, towards some freak accident. So it's just a lot going on there. So I think honestly, it should have been broken up a long time ago. But I think in this sense, to where Caruso is going to OKC, I think what their plan is to bolster that 3-point line defensively, right? You got Lou Dort, who had an outstanding defensive series last playoffs.
Lou Dort.
Yep.
You add they came up with a nickname for him, right? The Dortcher Chamber. Like, it's crazy. Like, my boy was out there really high level defense, right? Not to mention he was hitting some big shots and some timely buckets, right? You pair that with Caruso, who we know is going to come give you high level energy on defense, and on top of that, he's going to be able to make some big plays on offense, some threes, get out in transition, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's what they're really kind of looking for. And then on top of that, you kind of bring that veteran presence in, because Caruso is a vet. He is a champion. People do got to remember that. And
he is champion. Yes.
Somebody whose voice really carries.
Very big importance on champion too with that team.
Yeah. Right.
And that might be the reason. That might be another reason why OKC wanted him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think they understand his voice carries a lot further than somebody like a Josh Giddey.
So y'all saying I need to give Billy a pass?
I'm not saying
I need to give Billy a pass.
I'm not saying give him a pass, but what I am saying is what he's done with the crew that he's acquired, the crew that he's had. I think that props definitely need to be given, because I've seen a lot of coaches do less with more.
For sure.
So I think a lot of times Billy kind of gets that.
Do I need to remind you of the 2010-2011 Lakers, who were led by was Phoenix Mike D'Antoni with Steve Nash, Kobe, Artest, Pau Gasol,
all that,
and Dwight Howard.
Yep.
Had all that just to go out in the first round.
Yep.
I don't need to remind you of that. See what I'm saying?
I tell you, but I just think that it could possibly come down to Josh Giddey, his situation, and they might wanted to get off of that and probably give him a fresh start in the fresh city or whatever the case may be. So it could be that pair with that as well. But I just think going forward, OKC knew that they need more experience, right? And they're gonna need that veteran presence, and they really didn't have any when you looked at that roster. Two, they have somebody that's gonna really bolster that 3-point line defensively, and they just need somebody whose voice can really carry. And I think a lot of people underestimate the voice that Alex Caruso has when it comes to in the league and being a champion.
Lakers fans still want him back.
For the shit show. Hey, Moo, allow me to spit a bar real quick.
Spit away.
This is not Charmin, where less is more, my dog. Hell no. Less is not always more. This ain't Charmin. Less ain't more. Less is not more.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I think it's interesting, right? I didn't think that, free agency trades and all that stuff like that was going to kick off this early, but hey, I'm glad it is. It's going to be, we've been seeing a lot of potential trades and future trades and, talks about some trades and stuff like that come out.
The draft next week.
Exactly. The draft is next week, which I'm glad. Thank you, Willie. That's going to be the perfect transition. The draft is next week, and we have a whole bunch of rumors that says Bronny James is getting a lot of hype, and he is to be drafted. They're not saying specifically first round, but they are saying that Bronny James is probably most likely going to be drafted. How are we feeling about this? Oh, I'm just going to leave it open. We'll leave it open.
I don't mind going first. And I don't mind going first. And let me tell you why I don't mind going first. Here's what I do know. Predicted right now out of the top 5. Again, in the top 5, depending on where you look, number 1 and number 2. And I have a problem with this because the NBA is an American league. Fair. In most mock drafts of the NBA draft coming up, they have 2 French players going number 1. Why do I have a problem with that? Because it's telling me American-born players are getting less and less attention, and the overseas players are getting more and more attention. You want to know why that is? Because American players aren't being taught defense. They're not being taught fundamentals. Look at who's dominating the game. Giannis, Luka, Jokic.
Yep.
That might be your 3 best players in the NBA right now. Literally, the players who got the best fundamentals in the game right now, who has the best skill in the game right now. I don't want to hear no more of this. It's because they've been competing against grown men since the time they were 16. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit no more. I don't want to hear that excuse no more. The problem is a lot of these young guys do it for clout. They want the highlight plays. They want to make people click on them and get millions of views. You're not taking your time and learning the game. Hence, why Dirk Nowitzki is such a big integral part when it comes to the NBA internationally now, or Hakeem is such an integral part when it comes to the NBA internationally now. Those 2 are very instrumental in showing, hey, no matter how flashy you are, no matter how crazy you want to be with handles and this and them kind of things, fundamentals will always beat flashy. Fundamentals are more important. If you can sit there and cross this person and that person, throw behind the back, this and that, but you can't make a freaking layup, what you think is going to happen?
Exactly.
We saw it time and time again in this playoffs where players were missing easy layups at the rim. They made the $1 million move, but couldn't do the 10-cent finish with it.
Exactly. That's fair.
That's one of my takeaways from the draft. My other takeaway from the draft is Bronny James should not be drafted in the first round.
He should be, but I've been looking at some mock drafts these past couple of days. They got him going in the second round of the Lakers.
So yes. So here's what I will say. I do think some team out there desperate to try and get a marquee player like LeBron would draft Bronny James just on the promise that LeBron says he wants to play with his son. They would draft him just on the promise of that, not really based on the skill. And I know I watched the combine. And you're supposed to watch the tape and this and that, but Moo, am I wrong when I say if you score 13 points in the combine, that really ain't shit?
I don't think it's not a damn thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shit.
I mean, you had 3 days of combine and you scored 13 one day, you scored 6 one day, and I think it was 7 the next day. That's nothing. Not a goddamn thing other than maybe you could catch and shoot the damn ball because you didn't have nothing else to go with your scoring. I will say, is he a better shooter than his dad? He could be. I mean, Gary Payton Jr., the second,
is a better shooter than his dad.
It's definitely a better shooter than his dad, and I love Gary Payton the second.
Yep.
I think he's a very good player, and he adds. Moo would agree. He's a very good piece of the championship team, but could he carry a team? No. I'm just saying, like, do I think Bronny should be drafted in the first round? If he's 29 or 30, I don't have a problem with it.
I don't think even that high.
I'm just saying, late 20s, I wouldn't have a problem with.
My only call for pause on that is because your first round pick, I don't care how late it is, that first round pick has to hit.
Right.
They have to hit. And I don't think Bronny will hit as a first round player.
There's very few people that get lucky, or very few teams that get lucky on second round players. And just to show you how far and few in between, Isaiah Thomas was drafted in 2010.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're talking about Boston Celtics, Isaiah Thomas.
Boston Celtics, Isaiah Thomas. No, Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento Kings now. Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas. Yeah.
he was drafted with like the 54th pick, some crazy shit, and then it took about 3 years before Draymond was drafted, and Draymond was drafted with Isaiah. Matter of fact, was Isaiah Thomas drafted with the 59 pick? I was like 59 or 60, like close to the end of the draft, and then Draymond was drafted in the second round.
That's a good
also
point.
Years later, and tell me another second round pick that has turned out that good between both of them since then. There's nobody. Another thing, Philly drafted Markelle Fultz, and
True. They took a chance on him.
They drafted Markelle Fultz, and I think that year they took Markelle Fultz before Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, and then next year they drafted top 3 again, and then they took either Jason Tatum. They took Jason Tatum third over one of another player when they drafted second.
Jaleel Okafor.
Wait a minute. Okay, Jaleel Okafor is a product of the game changed. The game changed. No, for real. He's a product of the game change.
It is definitely true. About Jaleel Okafor,
because by the time he got there, it went away from the bigs.
Right.
Exactly. And I think his game transitioned, just a little too late. That's an unfortunate thing for Jaleel. I think
but that's what I tell people about Dwight Howard all the time, too. It's just like Dwight Howard's post game didn't translate later into his career because they moved away from the big man. It became more guard oriented.
Right.
And I think when he tried to really start to upgrade his game late, it was just kind of too late. And then not to mention he started to get hurt a little bit too. So
even what was the guy from the Bucks? Oh my God, his name Jabari Parker. Another one. Jabari Parker was a traditional power forward.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Give me the ball on the post, I'll back down, I'll score on my guy, and that's that each and every turn. But in retrospect, had Jabari Parker really been that guy, they would have never drafted Giannis on potential. So
facts.
I mean, it worked out in Milwaukee's favor. But
Sucks
Bronny James should not be drafted in the first round. And if they're saying he should be drafted in the first round, they've lost their mind. What I do know is any college player in college is capable of killing somebody at any point in college. Brian Scalabrine dropped 30 on somebody's head before in the NBA. When you get to the NBA, you are of the 1% of college players that made it to the NBA. And I need people to start realizing this. Bruh, I don't care if you make an NBA roster. If you make an NBA roster, you are the 1% in the world that's as good or better than you are.
Yep.
No casual fan can guard Brian Scalabrine. He did a whole YouTube series where he was killing people 15-1, 15-2. And the only reason why they scored 2 or 3 points because he was like, I'll let you shoot that. If you make it, you make it.
Right.
Brian Scalabrine once said, and y'all would agree with this, Brian Scalabrine said, hey, I'm closer to LeBron than y'all are close to me in terms of skill of basketball. There's no way your gap is closer than my gap is closer to LeBron. That's facts.
Yeah.
It's true.
Truth.
There's a whole bunch of college players, Division I college players, that can't hold a candlestick to Brian Scalabrine. He would score them all. I just want to make that clear. So Bronny James is not even in the top 50% of college players.
Nope.
Does he have raw potential? Yeah. But when you look at it in the light of things, somebody explain to me what exactly his potential is. We see your upside, but we don't know if you will ever amount to it. I would just like to tell Bronny, your dad has done a number of things, and he will call in favors to make sure you were drafted. But once your dad gets you drafted, that's it. You got to come out and show. I don't care if you average 6 points a game for the rest of your career. If you can make and maintain an NBA roster, hey, do what you do, man. But you're nowhere near a top 25 pick in this year's draft. You might want to go back to USC for one more year and make sure you can still play basketball. Go ahead, Willie.
My thing with this draft, to get on DJ's point, as far as foreign player goes, to me, in my opinion, you get past the 2 foreign dudes, you got your boy Reed Shepherd at number 3. And it's like he's immensely talented for a combo guard, and these drafters consider him to be consider him pale in comparison to the two European players. We have to stop that. We have to stop looking for the big dunks. We have to stop looking at just shooting threes. We have to look at the whole game. And yeah, we take Luka at face value, but if Luka was really in shape and can give you both ends of the floor, he would be awesome. The only reason why he really can't do it now is because of his conditioning. But want to back that point up. Second, Bronny James should not be drafted. At the very least, I think he'll be a good defender in the NBA. A good defender. And that's all. He's your next Marcus Smart, if you really want to look at it.
Marcus Smart was better offensively in college, so.
Oh yeah. But I think defensively, he can be what Marcus Smart is defensively, not offensively, because his game is challenged. But I don't think he should be drafted. I really don't. I know somebody will draft him just off name value, but I don't think he should be drafted.
The thing about this draft, the thing that's interesting to me, right, is first off, I know a lot of people, hear a lot of thoughts on Bronny James and they think it's comes off as hate. Me personally, I think he played basketball just too early, right? Like when you have something that happens like that, it's so traumatic, right? Especially to the body. It's very, very likely, it's very highly to make sure that you take the time for your body and your brain and everybody to get and everything to get right prior to coming back to physical activity. And me personally, I wouldn't have let him play this year. I would have let him, sit out this year. So the fact that he can, get his legs, get his body right, get his mind right, and he's able to come back the next season with a full slate and full power and, being back to where he was prior to, him having that, that terrible scare. So for me, it was just like go back to college because last year was more of like a test year, like a come out year, just to make sure that you can still, run around and do all the things that you used to be able to do. But now this year is more of it. All right, I'm here, I'm back, I'm arrived. It's my sophomore season. I know I can play this game. I know I can play long minutes, long times without, anything happening. So this is the time for me to really take over, right? You had a stacked USC team. I know they didn't do well this offseason, but as far as offensively goes and small guards goes, they had a really stacked offensive team. And DJ Rodman, Isaiah Collier, they had another guard that started over Bronny as well. So it's for me, it was just a more go back, honing your skills, but at the same time, go back and show people exactly who you are, the type of player that you are, because we really didn't get to see it this past season coming out. And to speak on DJ's point about the foreigners, the Europeans going first in the first round, the first two picks and stuff like that, I think it goes beyond defense for me. It goes more to fundamentals, right? They focus more on the fundamentals of basketball.
Big
right?
facts.
Yep.
I think the pic or the video that I was seeing that I've been seeing circulate all over social media is the great, right? The legend himself, Hakeem Olajuwon, teaching these young kids footwork, teaching them how to do the spin on one foot, right? Teaching them angles and how to attack the post at this angle and how to use your foot and your feet for these angles and how to use footwork to get inside and do a spin move here and now you got about pivot there and now just throw it up and you know what I'm saying, like, and seeing him do that at 60 and seeing them have difficulty doing it at 16, 17, 18, 19 is crazy because like that's what you're supposed to be learning in the AAU. That's what you're supposed to be learning in Pop Warner Pee Wee basketball. So, like, when you're way out of high school or you're getting ready for college and you're venturing out to see these to see these shooting coaches and to see these footwork coaches and defensive coaches or ex-NBA guys, it's like y'all should have been being taught these things. Y'all should have been focused on these things, right? The footwork, the fundamentals, right? Inside out, passing, shooting, dribbling. Like y'all should have been focused. It's not just getting in front of somebody and I can do a whole bunch of fancy dribble moves and get by you. It's like, nah, because there's gonna be somebody out there that's focused on the fundamentals, that took the fundamentals seriously, that has a whole dribble package, and they don't have a bag, but they have a dribble package. They can legitimately have handles, right? Like Luka. Luka doesn't really have a bag like that, but he has handles to the point where it's like, damn, he can create space, he can create moves, he can create his own shot just based off of understanding angles and different spacing on the court. So when it comes to guys like Alexander Shar, and Bronny and Zach Edey and Stephon Castle and all of these guys, you'll see why. And I think even this year, right? Because I think the league has seen something and they understand that the league is ever changing, right? The league is never going to stop changing. So we've seen the shift with the small ball and the 3-point ball with the Steph Currys and all the stuff like that and the Warriors and all the things like that. But then we've also seen how to win another way, right? Build a wall, right? Make sure your inside guys are big, right? We also seen another way, play through your big, right? Maybe if you got a big that's a dog or with some wings and a really good guard, you also can win, right? So I think a lot of teams are starting to see that we can construct our teams in ways that help strengthen our star players and at the same time bring out the strengths of our other guys. Then we have the recipe for championship pedigree. And I think that's what a lot of guys are starting to focus on now. A lot of GMs are starting to focus on that now. And I think we'll see another swing to the game where big men are more focused and big men are more used in eccentric situations. And the small ball lineup just ain't going to work because we've seen it kind of start to shift away from that. The small ball lineup's not really working no more. You're going to have to come with the more bigger, more medium size to bigger, larger lineup, right? You can't just come with the small ball because a lot of these guys are skilled now. They're just going to ride the bigger now. They're taller now. They're going to rise up and shoot over them. It's the reason why Caruso's and Lou Dort's and defensive guys are starting to be so important again. So I just think with the NBA draft and with how everything goes and Bronny and all of these guys with the mocks, and I just think that it's going to become a time where the shift is happening, right? Like there's that shift to where a lot of these guards are going to be overlooked for big guys, and the game is going to change to where big men are more focused on, and then a lot of the guards are going to be looked at over the big guys. It's just going to be more of a small game and a small ball game and a fast game. And I just think that a lot of these GMs, a lot of these coaches are starting to realize that this game is not really played one way, and we can win in other ways. We just have to figure out which way that is and capitalize on it.
I just think the European players take the time to develop a basketball IQ, whereas we don't develop a basketball IQ. We got players right now that you flip a play on you flip a play on the board, they lost. They completely lost because the basketball IQ is not there. And a lot of these guys can't even set up a screen properly.
Pick and roll.
Yeah, pick and roll, can't set up a screen, can't do anything.
Can't identify the perimeter, can't identify the baseline, front line.
Exactly. So we need to take so much of and I get it. You look at the physicals, you look at the measurables. I get it. I understand that point. But basketball IQ also has to be put in there somewhere. And I think that's what the European players have over us, that we don't develop the basketball IQ.
Facts.
I think so too.
How was this man talking when his mic said it's muted? That's crazy.
Went mute for a second. That shit was crazy. Literally just cut me off. But I think that's the biggest factor.
You saw that too, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. I was wondering,
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
That's why I spoke. I was like, oh, his mic muted. And then he just
my laptop is doing some things here. My laptop's been trying to set me up all day. But if y'all remember the statement that a lot of these basketball players made earlier a few years back was there's a lot of hoopers, but there's not a lot of basketball players.
Right. And there's a difference.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
A lot of people know, like, if you really play basketball, if you really hoop, then you know there's a difference. And I think that was a really fair point. And they said it. AAU has ruined a lot of people.
I've been saying that.
ruined a lot of people. Like just a lot of people, just YouTube, social media, all of that has attributed to a lot of these guys not understanding the game of basketball at a deeper level, to where you compare it to a European player and they understand it because they're not on the social medias all day and outside they're dribbling and shit like that. Like that's what they do. They're focused on more of their game, their skill, their craft, and being online.
They might not be the best athletes, as we've seen with Luka, as we've seen with Joker. They might not be the best athletes, but they're the better players.
Mm-hmm. And I think
Giannis is one of the better athletes.
Now Giannis is. That's a big dude. That's a big dude.
And he run like a goddamn gazelle.
He run like a gazelle.
Yeah. And I think the difference is with that, right, is like when you have those guys, they have different type of opportunities, right? Because you have European leagues that aren't NBA affiliated, so they can go and they can play in these leagues younger. When we have guys out here and they get a little social media cloud and, oh, well, now I'm going to go play with Ball is Life, or now I'm going to go play with Overtime and, all the stuff like that. And so, like, they don't even think about, all venturing out and playing in overseas leagues or, going overseas and stuff like that to make money. It's more to, for cloud and like that, and for the brand and shit like that. Exactly.
You want to build a brand than it is learning the game.
Right there. I think a lot of European players, they just care more about basketball. Even though I know a lot of people will sit up there and say that, oh, Jokic and Luka, and they don't care about they care about basketball, bro. They didn't care about basketball. They wouldn't fucking.
I would just like to announce, for those of you that have the Sleeper app, who's probably looking at it right now, Malik Monk intends to sign a 4-year, $78 million deal with the Sacramento Kings. Like, dislike, what y'all think?
Damn.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and say this. First of all, congratulations, Microwave Malik, Money Malik. Welcome back to the city. I understand that you didn't want to leave, but you had to make it. I'm an avid listener of Sacramento Sports Radio. Shout out to D-Lo and Casey. So whenever they, have talk about Sacramento Kings players and contract talks, I'm very tuned in. Malik was definitely going back and forth between some other teams, and but I think Zach really understood his value and understood what he kind of brings to the table. They were definitely not the same team, especially late losing him. So understandably so, making sure that that's somebody that they definitely cannot lose. And I think somebody else offered him, I think 3 years. 3 years. I think it was less than that. 3 years, significantly less than that. But so there was a lot of people on SAC Twitter basically saying, yeah, go ahead and sign that deal that SAC offered you, because I don't think you're gonna find another deal better than that. Which he might have, but the love he gets in Sacramento is different. So shout out to Money Malik, man.
Good to see that. Good to see that for that brother. Good player.
Still should have won 6 man of the year, but
I agree.
Now
I can't disagree.
Let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. They have elected to hire one JJ Redick to be their next head coach. Fellas, how we feeling?
Dumpster fire. No, I'm just playing. The thing that gets me about all this, you fellas will probably see where I'm going with. How? We have a lot of qualified brothers. I'm going to mention this one person. Just won a championship. Sam Cassell. Just won a title.
I already knew where he was going.
This dude ain't got no experience whatsoever. None. He's getting a job to be because he's LeBron's yes man. That's all this is. And it's going to fall flat in their face because it's a difference between knowing the game and being a leader of men. There's a difference. And
this is very true.
And I don't think JJ is ready. I don't think he's ready. If anything, he'll go for 2 years, get the experience, get fired, move on to somebody else. Now you've got coaching experience. Now you know how to conduct yourself in interviews and things of that nature, and maybe get an opportunity with a better team. But I just think this is going to be a dumpster fire, and the person who's going to get blamed for it once again, LeBron Ramon James.
Oh,
DJ, how we feeling?
Willie, you done cooking? Because I got a good bit to say about this. Point number one: the Lakers are full of shit. Okay, let me tell you why the Lakers are full of shit. They never wanted Dan Hurley. They wanted to protect the image of LeBron James. So they said they were offering Dan Hurley this and this because they didn't want nobody else to feel like LeBron James is running our organization. We're doing everything he wants to say. Man, y'all full of shit. Y'all, everybody on the outside knew that JJ Redick was going to be the next coach of the Lakers. We all knew. I don't care what you say. You can't convince me no otherwise. The Dan Hurley story was falsified because they really wanted Dan Hurley to pay Dan Hurley over $100 million.
That's why he got that sorry ass contract.
Big facts. They would have paid him $100 million. It's straight up facts. You never wanted Dan Hurley.
Nope.
Now you're trying to make JJ Redick look like sloppy seconds when LeBron picked JJ Barea a long time ago. Shams reported the Lakers are interested in JJ Barea to be their coach a month ago, and out of nowhere, nobody saw this coming. Dan Hurley is offered a contract. Bro, we ain't stupid out here in these streets. Y'all are full of shit. We know you never wanted to offer Dan Hurley the contract. Dan Hurley knew you didn't want to offer him the contract. That's exactly why he turned that shit down. He turned it down because of the money, blah, 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 blah. That's bullshit.
What happened was, let me get it for a second, DJ. What happened was some of the other coaches got to him and told him, don't take this job. Don't take this job. Don't take this job. Because go back and look at it. And I said this the other day. You let Vogel go after winning the title, and you let Ham go after getting to the finals, winning the in-season tournament. What did I tell you?
Man, fuck all that. The Lakers' job is not coveted.
No.
Nobody. Until LeBron James leaves, nobody wants to. And you know what this reminds me of? And I'm a big fan of this person. But Willie, you will agree. This reminds me of when Michael Jordan was playing for the Wizards. Nobody wanted that coaching job. Because you're handcuffed to whatever demands Michael Jordan made. Right now with the Lakers, you're handcuffed to whatever decisions LeBron make. And
Shit, half the players don't want to be in Washington with Mike.
Half the players don't want to be in freaking LA with LeBron.
Yeah. Stackhouse talk every day how Michael Jordan was a bad influence in that locker room.
Kwame Brown tells you every single day how bad Michael Jordan was as a teammate in his 30s and 40s. He tells you that. No diss to Michael Jordan. I'm not saying he don't deserve that respect. And I'm not saying LeBron don't deserve that respect. But here's what I do know. Great players make horrible ass GMs.
Yep.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Larry Bird
with one exception.
Jerry West.
And Larry Bird.
Jerry West and Larry Bird are the exceptions.
Only two.
Because Indiana was hella competitive and they almost made it to the finals. They almost beat Jordan Bulls.
Yep.
To make it to the finals when Larry Bird was there as their GM and coach.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear nothing of this. You wanted JJ Redick. I keep wanting to say JJ Barea because JJ Barea is LeBron's dad.
He is to this day.
JJ Redick literally is he's a basketball mind. He's good. I think he deserves some kind of coaching job in the NBA, but I do not think he deserves to be a head coach because he hasn't paid his dues yet, and nobody can vouch for him to say he's a good leader. I've never heard anybody say when JJ Redick was in the NBA, he's a good leader of men. Let me tell you, if Shane Battier was to say, hey, I want to interview for the Lakers job, and Shane Battier interviews and gets the job, I'd be like, you've always heard Shane Battier is a good vocal leader.
Yep.
He always brings everybody together. You ain't never hear nobody say that about JJ Redick. What you hear about JJ Redick? He's a cocky ass motherfucker that played for Duke, is what you hear.
Yep.
You hear that a lot.
Yep.
You did hear that a lot.
He thought he was the shit until he made it to the NBA. He thought he was the greatest till he made it to the NBA, and the NBA humbled him real quick because he found out real quick.
Fast.
He wasn't LeBron. He wasn't Melo. He
Nope.
wasn't D Wade.
Nope.
He wasn't Chris Bosh.
Nope.
And that's all in the same draft class.
Like I say, it's one thing to know the game. It's another thing about being a leader of men.
Nice.
Like
He ain't it.
I hate this. I don't want to blast Mike Tomlin because I absolutely do love Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin isn't the best X's and O's guys when it comes to football. But they respect him. They follow him as
they fight for him.
They fight for him. And it's like you might not be the best X's and O guys. You might not be the best person to say, hey, you do this and you do this and you do this, but you can be the best leader and be like, look, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and you make people believe in what you're preaching. And people will run through a motherfucking wall for you.
Mm-hmm.
They will run through a wall for you.
Mm-hmm.
JJ Redick doesn't have that. I've never heard any play that JJ Redick played on the team would say, that's our leader and that's who we're running through the wall for. Never. Not even when he was in college. People wanted to run through a wall for Coach K, not JJ Redick.
John Thompson too.
These are all fair points. I'll lie to you guys.
John Thompson too.
But I'm gonna ask you guys a question real quick. How do we feel about JJ's rumored coaching staff that he's supposed to be having Rondo and Sam Cassell on his staff?
Number one, Sam Cassell should be the coach.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. He should be the coach.
Definitely can understand that point.
That man got championships. Oh, JJ got his knuckles.
Sam Cassell got 2 championships as a player because people forget he was on that 08 Celtics team.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got another championship as
a coach. Yep.
I'm not the biggest believer in Doc Rivers, but I do know Doc Rivers does know X's and O's, and Sam Cassell was on the Doc Rivers coaching staff. And when Doc Rivers left, everybody opted to keep Sam Cassell as an assistant coach in Boston for the next coaching staff after Doc Rivers, it just slips my mind who was the coach after Doc Rivers. It slips my mind. I can't remember. But they opted to keep Sam Cassell there.
Wasn't it Brad Stevens? No, it was later. No, it was later. That was later.
But nonetheless, the coach of this team should be Sam Cassell. And it's a fucking atrocity that Sam Cassell has not gotten a head coach opportunity yet. It's a fucking atrocity. It's ridiculous that Sam Cassell hasn't gotten a coaching gig yet. All players speak very highly of this man. They all respect his intelligence. Podcasters like us know what Sam Cassell meant to that 95 Rockets team and that 08 Celtics team.
Mm-hmm.
But
we all also know what he meant to that 06 Clippers team that made it to the playoffs and made it to the second round. He made it to the All-Star. Sam Cassell's the master, the mid-range master of. Let's not forget the years he played with KG in Minnesota.
Yep.
There we go.
Come on, man.
Yep.
Yeah. We know our history around here, dog. We definitely do.
Talk about it, because
if Chauncey Billups has a coaching job, Sam Cassell should have a coaching job too.
Hey man, that's the biggest point. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's the biggest point right there. I think when it comes to Sam, a lot of people forget that he is the glue to a lot of championships teams, whether y'all want to believe so or not. His basketball mind, his basketball prowess is the reason why a lot of teams won their championship or went far in the playoffs, right? Like the times, like even early on when he was with KG, like the shit that he taught these guys, these young guys, it was absolutely fucking crazy. And there's a reason why a lot of people maintain and keep him on staff is because his basketball is absolutely something out of this fucking world. But to speak on JJ, first of all, because I seen a little ticker pop up on Bleacher Report, LeBron uninvolved in JJ's hire. Shut up. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear
that if you want to. Believe that if you want to.
We don't want to hear it. We do not want to hear it. Bron, we know you were involved directly. Okay. So stop with all that bullshit. Okay. Rich Paul. Okay. Clutch Sports. Stop trying to get ahead of it. We already know.
I hate Clutch Sports with a passion.
So there's that. Second. Okay. Like Willie said, you can know the game of basketball. You can be like in the books and know X's and O's. But if you're not a leader of men, then you're not a leader of men. And I think we've seen that already. What happened with Luke Walton, right? Rest in peace to Bill Walton. But Luke Walton was a player who didn't play a lot, right? When he played for the Lakers, he learned a lot, right? From Phil Jackson, from Kobe, from all these great coaches. Knew the game, was a player of the game, studied the game, right? Studied under Steve Kerr, but he wasn't a leader of men, and I think that was the ultimate difference. He knew the game of basketball deep, very, very well, but he wasn't a leader of men, and I think that's the when it comes down
to that point, though. I just need everybody to understand. Everybody was like, well, when Steve Kerr was out, Luke Walton filled in nicely. But here's what I want you to know. The team was still rallying around Steve Kerr.
Yep.
Not to mention, they had somebody on the team, i.e. Andre Iguodala, that was literally
facts
drawing
coach on the floor.
He was a coach on the floor. That's the reason why we went to go get him. He was literally drawing up plays. Like, Iggy was the reason why the Warriors defense was as what it was, and he didn't play a lot in 2022, but he was the reason why the defense was as what it was, because of his coaching, because of his power, because of his veteran ability. So when it comes to somebody like JJ, and I get it, right? Everybody wanted their friends to have, the opportunities and get opportunities and stuff like that. But I think in this sense, right, especially when you have somebody like Monty Williams that just got let go from the Pistons, which, like I said, we'll get into that in just a second.
He happy as hell.
I'm pretty sure he is, but still kind of
happy
crazy.
as hell.
But we have all of these guys out here that deserve coaching, right? Deserve coaching jobs, but you go for somebody like JJ. Not saying that JJ doesn't necessarily deserve it yet, but when you look at the market, and I think this is my biggest problem, when you look at the market, the team market, when you have guys who start in smaller market teams, you give JJ an instant big market, one of the biggest market teams right out the gate. And we're not supposed to think, we're not supposed to believe that LeBron had something to do with it. Because this is the
Lakers. They got a podcast together.
Oh, yeah.
They got a podcast.
He's a yes man. I said it before. I'll say it again. He's a yes man for Bron.
You feel me? Like, this isn't the Grizzlies. This isn't even the Warriors, bro.
Nope.
This is not the Toronto Raptors.
Nope.
This is not the Orlando Magic, bro.
Nope.
These are the Los Angeles Lakers.
Second best franchise in history.
Literally, like, after was just tied with 18 fucking championships. Showtime Lakers, the three-peat, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Phil Jackson, like.
Yep.
This team
Kobe Bryant,
history, right?
Bro, I can name them off. Kobe, Shaq,
Johnson,
Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Byron Scott,
like,
Magic, Kareem,
James Worthy.
James boy.
Yeah, boy. James was that dude.
That's my dog, right? That's one of my favorite.
That's what that dude, man. Yeah.
I just don't think that having somebody just of a new coaching caliber should have automatically got a nod for one of, if not the most prominent fucking franchise in NBA fucking
to a lesser
history.
Degree, yeah, I agree.
To in NBA history, right at the gate, right? Like, I think you should consider other guys before JJ Redick or even a Rajon Rondo. Like, there has to be a hierarchy tier. There has to be a way to where people have to be able to pay their dues in order before they get to a level of that circumstances. Because this ain't Charlotte, bro. You feel me? This Los Angeles,
right?
You feel me? Like,
this ain't the Bobcats.
You feel me? This is not like
not
this
too
is
much.
like New York. That's like, you feel me? That's like Dallas type shit. You feel me? You don't get big ass jobs like Jason Kidd didn't even get a big ass fucking Dallas job like that when he first got out the league.
Took him a minute. He
went to the Bucks first, right?
Yeah,
he went to the Bucks first. Yeah.
He was working for the Bucks first, right? He had to work his way up, and then got fired and stuff like that. Was assistant coaching here and there, boom, 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 and then came back, right? So, like, I just think that they jumped the gun with hiring these ex-players because they sound good talking ball on television, right? And I already see his little, coaching points and what he wants to do. And we're gonna have AD be more ball dominant. And
hey, DJ, answer me this. DJ, answer me this. What did Mike Tyson say about a game plan?
Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Exactly.
And I just feel like him saying this now, right? JJ outlined plans to prioritize Davis late in games, move James more off ball and offense.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Here's what I do know, okay? If JJ is going to be a great coach, his reputation precedes him just because he's not a superstar player. The better coach, superstar players don't make the best coaches because they suck at evaluating talent, first of all. But second,
i.e. Michael Jordan.
We all know LeBron. But on the flip side of that as well, X's and O's guy is not always the best way for you to go. And the reason why I bring it up is because JJ Redick is a Duke guy. He understands the X's and O's. He understands what's going on. He understands the flares. He understands the drop coverage. He understands rotations. But here's what I do know. In that same situation, he understands all that. The shit ain't perfect when you're playing against somebody.
Nope.
Okay? Like, this is not a robotic system.
Nope.
It's not a robotic system where it's the same thing every single time. And I hate that we have gotten to the point where we use advanced analytics to overanalyze everything. Because, I mean, outside of this year, when has advanced analytics gave you the right winner for the NBA Finals?
That's true.
They got it wrong in 2022.
Yep.
They got it wrong when Phoenix played the Bucks. They got it wrong when Golden State played Toronto.
Yep.
They obviously got it right when KD was on Golden State for those 2 years with against Cleveland. But I mean,
my dog can get that right.
Right. Anybody with 2 eyes could know there's 2 MVPs, 1 MVP, a budding superstar, and another star player with no other star player, unless you want to count J.R. Smith as your other star player.
Right.
We all knew that what your eyes told you, Golden State was going to win anyway.
Yep.
With LeBron. Go back even further than that. You got the Spurs and the Heat. That's about as even as it has gotten in the NBA Finals in the past 2 decades.
Oh, yeah.
2013, 12, 11, 10. I mean, OKC even had a great OKC was favored in 2012 to win. That's how good advanced analytics is. Yes. Even in 2011, people favored the Bulls over Miami. I mean, common sense on our side would have told you there's LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh, and the Bulls aren't winning this series.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy Butler wasn't Jimmy Butler we know now. We all knew this. But advanced analytics, I hate to say it like this, but your advanced analytics for most people, when has advanced analytics paid you any money? It doesn't, because it's wrong. Advanced analytics does not take into account playoff experience and chemistry. It doesn't. If you would have told me before the playoffs, advanced analytics say Denver is supposed to beat Minnesota because the advanced analytics say so, I'd have looked at you and said, "What's your eye say?" Because Moon knows very well. I said, "There's no way in hell that Denver is beating Minnesota off of the simple fact that Anthony Edwards is a mismatch." So advanced analytics tell you JJ Redick is the next coach of the Los Angeles Lakers because he understands X and O's probably to a fault.
True.
But what your eyes tell you? Your eyes tell you JJ Redick should not be the coach of this team, and your eyes also tell you JJ Redick needs to start small and work his way up.
Yep.
What else? Your ears also tell you the same thing, because not only that, he's not a good commentator. He's not a good commentator. He sucks at breaking down the game of basketball.
He's boring to me.
He is good at explaining it to high-level players, to pro players. But if the people on your team ain't pros and you're building a young team, they can't connect with you. JJ Redick left college in 2000. JJ Redick came into the NBA when I was in high school in 06. I graduated high school in 08. It's 2024, dog. It's 16 years later. New generation, new beliefs, new understanding of advanced analytics, new understanding of running plays and understand what you got to do. I'm not saying he can't learn, but what I'm saying is if you're the Lakers coach, the Lakers are expected to win now because that's what they do. And guess what they're going to do under JJ Redick? Not win now. Because we do not have a history of JJ Redick being a winner. Did JJ Redick win an NBA championship?
No,
not one.
Not one.
He don't even. As a player, he doesn't even know what it takes to win a championship.
That's a fair point. I'm not gonna lie to you.
His only championship experience in the NBA was playing with Dwight Howard when he was 3 years in to the NBA.
Yep. On the Atlanta Magic team.
After that, he ain't ever make it to another NBA Finals ever. Why is he qualified?
That's a fair point. See, I'm not gonna lie with you.
Yep.
Point. That's the reason why I said you gotta wait. You gotta wait your turn.
And only in America.
Only America.
America.
Well, Willie, you know, Willie gets the best of both worlds. You know, he's half and half. He gets the best of both worlds.
Only with the women, man. Only with the women.
This is true, man. This is true. But
he said, he said only with the women. Sound like an advantage for me.
That's why you like it. You know, we like it.
Nah, I fucks with Willie.
As we know, the Celtics have won the 2024 NBA championship. And I just want to say that one, Al Horford was robbed for Finals MVP. I don't care what anybody tells me. And two, Jason Tatum, stop stealing everybody's moment. Come up with your own moment, bro. It's okay.
Damn.
Your own moment. You feel me? First, he tried to scream to the sky like KG. He tried to, what they gonna say now, like Steph, and then try to hit the Kobe. Like, bro, get your own moment, bro. Get your own fucking moment.
Get your own shit.
But fellas, how we feeling about the Celtics finally winning the championship?
Everybody has a breakthrough period. If you go back and look at some of the greatest teams in history, they all have a breakthrough moment. Pistons versus Celtics, Bulls versus Pistons, they all have a breakthrough moment. Took a little bit longer for the Celtics to get theirs, but they finally got it. And we're gonna see what they look like next year. Because the East should be better. Should be better. We gotta see what Donovan Mitchell does. But yeah, we'll see what they do. You won to me pretty much by default. I want to see what they do next year when Milwaukee's healthy, Indiana's healthy, the Knicks is healthy. I'm not a Julius Randle guy per se, but I want to see what they do with a healthy Knicks team. So we'll see. Next year will be more of a test because these teams be healthy and ready to go.
DJ, how we feeling? Even though we watched the game live.
Is that what you feel, Willie?
I just think that they took advantage of everything and they're supposed to. Don't get me wrong. You're supposed to take advantage of what you got. But at the same point, if these teams were healthy, not saying that Boston wouldn't have won, but I think it would have been more a war of attrition versus this cakewalking teams and getting that confidence up for whatever Dallas threw at you. And I'm disappointed in Jason Kidd too, because he didn't. I sort of kind of questioned him just a bit on adjustments, particularly in the second half. But yeah, I just want to see what the Celtics can do when the East is healthy and ready to go versus all these cakewalks and having everything just lined up for them.
I just want to ask you a question. Did you feel the same way about Golden State in 2015?
I think Golden State was
no. Did you feel the same way about Golden State in 2015 when every starting point guard of every team they played in the playoffs was injured? Did you feel the same way in 2015?
I didn't.
You didn't. You did.
I didn't. To be honest, I didn't.
Okay. Here's my take on this. The Celtics won the NBA championship because Drew Holiday got traded to the Boston Celtics from Portland. That's a fact. I just want to point that out. The reason why that's a fact is because not only did the Celtics trade not Drew Holiday, Marcus Smart, they got an even better Marcus Smart on offense.
Yeah.
And they replaced Marcus Smart with somebody with better offense and the same caliber defense. On top of that, this is also why I disagree. Celtics weren't healthy throughout the playoffs and still made it to the finals and still won the finals. They weren't healthy. Porzingis got hurt in round 1 and didn't come back until the finals, and he played 2 games in the finals. What does that tell you? Doesn't matter who you put in front of them. Doesn't matter. Outside of the Knicks, Indiana didn't.
And that's my point. Because that's my point.
Okay, Willie, let me ask you a question then. Since you said that's your point.
Because if the Knicks were healthy,
had the Knicks played, wait. Because you're sitting here acting like the Knicks weren't healthy and Boston was 100% healthy. Had the Knicks won Game 7 without Jalen Brunson getting hurt and went into the Eastern Conference Finals, do you think Knicks would have won the series against the Pacers? Not the Pacers, against Boston?
No, without Brunson.
No, I'm just even with Brunson. Do you think they would have won with Brunson?
If they were healthy with Brunson and Randall?
With Julius Randle being out, OG Anunoby being out, you still think they would have won? They wouldn't have. They wouldn't have because.
But that's why I put the caveat healthy.
Okay, but the Celtics weren't healthy either, and that's my point. The Celtics weren't healthy either. That's the point I'm making. They were missing one of their key players in Kristaps
Porzingis.
They weren't healthy either. So, had Kristaps been healthy, Julius Randle been healthy, OG Anunoby been healthy, do you still think New York would have won the East?
They would have took it 7.
They would
have took it 7. I think they would have took 7. It wouldn't have been a cakewalk that Boston had gone.
That's fine. That's fine. I still think Boston would have still won the series. Would they have won the championship? I don't know because they wouldn't have been the rest of this they was. Right. Here's what I will say. Boston was the best team in the NBA all year. They were the best team in the playoffs, probably outside of Minnesota, until Minnesota
got put out.
They got put out and fell off the bandwagon or whatever. By experience, no hate. And it's because Karl Anthony Towns again started reverting back to his old ways on shooting on the perimeter. Here's what I will say is I think the best team in the NBA won the NBA Finals this year. I do. I think the best team won. I don't think anybody would have beat them healthy. I don't think Minnesota would have beat them healthy. I don't think Dallas was healthy and
they were healthy and lost.
Maybe
Denver.
Maybe Denver would have been a problem, but here's the problem I see them running into. Denver doesn't have a 1-2 combo on the outside like Dallas does. So on the flip side of that, what you're saying is Denver doesn't have a 1-2 punch guard and guard like Dallas does with Jamal Murray and
Joker.
Who's the guy that starts shooting guard for Denver?
Oh, KCP.
That is right. Okay, but Dallas has Kyrie and Luka, and here's the thing: Dallas is more equipped to deal with outside players than any other team because all 3 of their people that could play outside, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, can all play one-on-one defense.
Yeah, that's true.
If it bothered the best one-on-one player outside of Kevin Durant in the NBA today and Kyrie Irving, it's going to bother anybody to play against.
I just think the reason why Boston won,
I
think 2 reasons why I think Boston won. Boston finally developed an identity.
They always have an identity.
Well, I'm just saying because you saw him all offense at one point. Well, if you go back and look at the finals, they weren't scoring as many points as they were during the regular season in the finals because they were playing lockdown defense. So you finally saw a defensive effort from them in the finals, locking teams down, and of course the injury factor. I just want to see. My thing
I don't think they won because of the injury factor because they were missing Porzingis.
But my thing is this: and give them credit where credit is due. They had the depth in Al Horford. But all I'm saying is this: as a basketball fan, I just rather have seen those teams healthy, given better games, proving more of a test to see what Boston could really do in those situations.
Seeing who healthy. I'm sorry. Seeing who.
The rest of the East, the teams they beat.
Philadelphia was healthy for the most part, other than when Joel Embiid got hurt in the series. Who they play in the second round?
Indiana. What Indiana?
They play Indiana in the conference finals.
The conference finals. That's right.
Indiana and New York played in the second round.
Cavs.
Yeah, and they beat the Cavs.
Cavs.
I mean,
but they didn't have Donovan Mitchell.
Jared. No. Wait, hold on now. Wait. They had Donovan Mitchell for 3 games.
But then the last 2 did.
The person they didn't have was Jared Allen. So
yeah,
I can attest that.
for the.
But I still think Boston. Jared Allen wasn't going to make up for the scoring gap in between either one of them, in between those teams. But nonetheless, listen. I think Boston would have won regardless. And let me tell you why I think Boston would have won regardless. They have one thing no other team has in the NBA, right? Name me one other team in the NBA that can switch on the wings on everything. And that was the difference when they played against Tatum and Luka. All the other teams that Tatum and Luka played, you switch, and the either the ball handler or who's ever playing off ball between Tatum and Luka has a mismatch.
Right, and that's what I was saying. And that's what I said, defensive effort.
Yeah, defensive effort. But on the flip side, Boston can put up the defensive effort and put up the offensive numbers. Name me any other team in the NBA as talented as Boston both ways. Derek White can play defense.
Mm-hmm.
Jaylen Brown can play defense and score just like Derek White can play defense. Jason Tatum can do both. Al Horford can do both. Kristaps Porzingis can do both. Drew Holiday can do both. Who else has 6 players that can play on both sides? Not only that, Derek White can drop back and play power forwards, and Al Horford can step up and play on guards on the outside because he has Porzingis behind him if he needs to back. I just think Boston had the best team overall. Period. Peyton Pritchard can play defense.
This is true.
He can play defense and he can shoot the 3. Probably if I had to take a guess, I don't know how good if I take a guess, he's somewhere between 38 and 40%. The problem, the thing that Boston had was consistent defense and great scoring. And that is always going to be a recipe for winning the championship. If I can stop this person from scoring, but they can't stop me from scoring, I'm going to win. And that's what Boston had. I think for the first time, they had no downside because Grant Williams and what was the other Williams? Grant and Robert, right?
Robert Williams.
Yeah.
That was the downsides of the team. Grant Williams and Robert Williams. Robert Williams couldn't score. Grant Williams couldn't play defense. You replace that with Drew Holiday, who can score and play. Obviously, Marcus Smart was a one-way player. Boston, from the beginning of the season, replaced all their one-way players with two-way players. We can score, but on the flip side, we can also shut your ass down. And I feel like that was the difference in Boston. I don't care if Dallas was 100. Dallas is pretty much healthy throughout the series. I don't care if New York was healthy. They wouldn't have beat Boston. I don't think they would have beat Boston at all because Boston is a team. Their whole starting 5 are pretty much good to elite on defense, and good to elite on offense. And that is a recipe for shutting down whoever you're playing. And if you can't stop me, and that's why I think the difference was nobody could stop Boston. You can't even name me a single team that matches up that well against Boston. There's no team in the NBA that matches up that well against Boston. Nobody can name one because there's not one. All 5 players, all 6 players can play defense and play offense. And Derek White was definitely the X factor because he came off the bench. If Derek White was on any other team in the NBA, he would start, but he's not starting over Drew Holiday.
No.
Fair point. That's a fair point. That only tells me that everybody's not worried about Steph Curry and the Warriors. Now, before we get out of here, 2024 has been kind of crazy as far as losing legends. Losing Willie Mays 2 days ago.
Tough one.
Bill Walton.
That's tough.
Jerry West.
Bill Walton.
That was a tough one too. He
Bill
said Bill
Walton.
Walton.
Larry Allen lost him.
I met Bill Walton once.
That's dope.
I met Bill Walton once. We was at working for T-Mobile, me and my ex-wife.
That's dope as fuck.
I won a sales competition called Winner Circle. They sent us out to Vegas. And he gave us one of the motivating speeches. I got a chance to walk up to him, talk basketball for about 15, 20 minutes. Nicest cat in the world. Nicest dude in the world. Just sat there. We just talked about the Portland Trailblazers back then, and who were the better players at that time. He was just a good dude, man. And that him being gone, that hurts. That hurts.
That's really big sports icons that we lost, both in the football and the basketball world. So shout out to them. Shout out to our families. Just let you know
today,
we've definitely thinking about them. Definitely thinking about the lessons and the journey that they embarked on this world. So shout out to Bill. Shout out to Jerry West. Shout out to Say Hey Willie Mays, and shout out to Larry Allen. Shout out to y'all families as well. Now, before we get final thoughts, are you guys ready for a little basketball? Y'all ready for a little basketball? Y'all think we're going to take this gold? What's going on? Quick thoughts before we get up out of here.
I don't think that. Well, first of all, let me tell y'all something. If the USA men's don't win gold, it is an indictment on USA basketball, and it's also an indictment of how we teach basketball here in the USA. Other countries are starting to catch up, especially with the inclusion of YouTube. Especially, let me tell y'all something. There was at one point where I thought the USA wasn't going to win, and we ended up winning, and that's when Serge Ibaka, Pau Gasol, and Marc Gasol all teamed up on the same team.
This is true.
To take on the USA. The USA eventually they eventually ended up winning. Here's what I will say. If the USA doesn't win gold this year, I don't think it's an indictment on them. I think it's a what's the word I'm looking for here? A pass. We're going to give them a pass for how good the world is getting in basketball. As far as women basketball go, Asia Wilson is the best player in the world, and I don't and I don't
Preach
think any team is
Preach
going
it.
to the USA women's.
Preach it.
I think the USA men's could lose if they don't have enough practices before to where you come together and be like, this is your role, this is your role, and this is your role. I'm worried because, and you know what? I don't mean to talk shit about a lot of y'all's favorite player, but because he's a fucking glory hog. But LeBron is not Kobe. And what I mean by that is Kobe walked in and told Coach K, I just want to guard the best player on the next team. I'm going to shut his ass down every night. I don't need to score. I'm going to just shut him down. LeBron isn't doing that.
Yeah, no.
He's not doing that. LeBron wants the glory. He wants the fame. This and that. And everybody has to rally around LeBron to make sure he's comfortable. I don't know if that's going to be a thing.
And let me say this to back your point up, DJ, about Kobe. Y'all remember when he said, I'm going through Paul Gasol. I know they're going to run. I know they're going to run. I'm going to go through Paul. And he did that shit.
Game 7, the Lakers ran their offense against the Celtics through Pau Gasol, and Pau Gasol delivered. I know most of them remember Ron Artest making the three.
Mm-hmm.
Pau Gasol shot for like 77% in that game and went off for like 22 and 12.
Yep.
Pau Gasol was the real MVP of that Lakers series and not Kobe. And I hate to say that because I love Kobe, but Pau Gasol should have been given the MVP award. The same way Jaylen Brown was given the MVP award this year. I think Pau Gasol should have been the MVP. But I'm not mad at Kobe winning the MVP. You know what I'm saying? Kobe did put in some work, you know. So, but man, if the NBA or American players do not win the gold medal, what a fucking disgrace. You got LeBron James, who should not be on the Olympic team. He should have sat his ass down somewhere and just retired, bro. Just the starters really should have been probably Steph Curry. Who would I start a shooting guard? I don't know who I started shooting guard, but backup point guard should have been SGA for shit sure.
Yep.
Steph Curry. Oh, wait, is SGA from Canada? He's a Canadian, right?
I thought he was Canadian. Yeah.
He's Canadian. But Kyrie Irving is Australian, so I don't necessarily know, but LeBron should have been it should have been Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. You could pick whoever you want to at power forward. And then at center should be Anthony Davis. You could pick Anthony Davis at power forward and probably Miles Turner at center. If we're diving through. That should be your starting five. I get it. But nonetheless, I still think America is going to win the gold. I just don't know if America will win the gold in FIBA in 2 years from now. I don't think they'll win the gold because the whole world is catching up.
And quick.
Canada's loaded. RJ Barrett is out there. You know, Canada has a team. Kyrie Irving can choose for who the hell he wants to play for, because technically he's really Australian because that's where he was born. He could choose whether he wants to play for Australia or if he wants to play for USA. But nonetheless, anything less for gold is a damn disgrace to Americans, to the American team. Not a disgrace to the fans, but it's definitely a disgrace to American basketball, a game that we invented. So they say, but I mean, Naismith was from Canada, so it still blows my mind that people keep saying that's a game we invented, and this, yeah, but Naismith wasn't from America. So, and anybody that just do your research, he's from Canada. So, my brethren's right here on this podcast knows that he's from Canada. So,
yes, this is true.
Yep.
But Canada is catching up. China's catching up. France for shit show. I'm surprised. The ultimate indictment on USA basketball was when Manu Ginobili in Argentina won the gold medal in 2004 when D Wade, Melo, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Allen Iverson, Richard Jefferson, that trash ass team
went out there and got their ass beat. That Kobe had to come back and save him.
Kobe was the ultimate factor in the difference to win. So yes,
okay, come back and save him.
But while we're on here, y'all tell us who you think your dream team would be to play for the USA this year in summer basketball. Let us know. We might break that down next week. So let us know
in the chat. Quick thoughts on the Olympic basketball. I just think they need to take off Tyrese Halliburton, take off Kawhi, add D Mitch, and add Kyrie and keep it pushing.
Is Kawhi going to be healthy enough?
That's exactly what I said.
He will. Don't worry. He's been sitting down for the past 5 months. He'll be good.
Hey, this is true. Either add Kawhi. Well, I wouldn't say add Kyrie because I know he just got out the final. So instead, add Jalen Brunson. We'll
I'll take that.
Yes, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that all day.
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. At this point, I'll take all three of them niggas. Josh Hart and DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
Hey, no cap.
I ain't no cap. I like DiVincenzo. No cap.
Yes.
I like DiVincenzo. No cap.
Bro,
Josh Hart.
I think Jalen Brunson won 2 championships. Jalen Brunson won 2 championships at Villanova. DiVincenzo won 2 championships at Villanova. Josh Hart won at Villanova. Yes, I will take them. Hell yes, I would.
All three of them. All three of them.
Got no
All right,
problem with Vince Joseph. No.
Y'all know what time it is. We're going to go ahead and kick off them final thoughts, starting with my boy, DJ. What you got for us, man?
If the USA loses in this Olympics in basketball on either side, it's a fucking atrocity. The girls should win because Asia Wilson is the best player in the world, and the girls should also win because we got players like Kelsey Plum.
Say it again.
Mm-hmm.
But just to be fair, Enrique is also not on any African team. Enrique, Moo, help me out with the last name here because I cannot say
it.
It is a fucking atrocity that she is not on the USA team. Y'all lost y'all, but that's the second best player in the WNBA. Y'all lost y'all might not put her on the WNBA. Matter of fact, I hope the WNBA and the USA players don't get first place, and y'all have to recruit Enrique next year because that's a damn shame. Also, I would like to close out with Caitlin Clark shouldn't have made the team. Run that shit. Let's go.
I like it.
Facts.
What you got for us, man?
Facts. First of all, as I'm always going to do, Fort Rob Manfred. You ruining my game of baseball. We got baseball season coming to the playoffs. Everything's about to get tight. I can't wait to see what these playoffs going to end up being.
Your white side is showing.
Say what?
Your white side is showing.
I can't wait to see what we
now,
get.
I like baseball too. I'm just joking with you.
I can't wait to see what we get. My Mets are done for, but I want to see what the Dodgers do. I want to see what the Yankees do. I want to see if Boston can come back and do a little something. But for Rob Manfred. And real quick. And real quick, man. To my New Orleans Saints, I'm a Saints fan through and through. Man, go ahead and just let Alvin Kamara go. Just play him out this season and let him go. He on the wrong side of 30. The wrong side of 30 for a running back. Go and let this man get his last year in and let him go. It's time to move. It's time to move on from Alvin. His production's been going down over the years. It's time to move on from Alvin. Let Alvin go.
Hey, I respect
all right,
that.
Moolage. Let's go, Moolage.
I respect that, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Make sure you guys catch the rest of the shows throughout the rest of the week. Tomorrow we're talking that ish with Inside the Huddle. Monday B2B. Tuesday we off because we don't like to do shit. We lazy. Wednesday we coming back for Gentlemen's Talk because we like to talk that ish. And then Thursday. Sorry, we back for PVT. And then skip the day. Friday we back again. You know what I'm saying?
The best damn football show on the internet. Period. I'm sorry, Moo, but I had to interject and let these niggas know.
You heard it.
Damn football show, period, on the internet, Inside the Huddle, each and every Friday here on From the Sidelines. Go ahead, Moo.
7 p.m. Western time. I know that's a little late for you East Side folks, but we're trying to catch you before you go out and get your ratchet activity started. So pull up with a drink, with a smoke, with whatever you got. Throw some music on.
You say ratchet activities?
Come watch the talk a little.
I see no lies.
He's going on. Next week we will be going full baseball to we got a wrestling show next week to preview SummerSlam and Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
I got money in the bank. Show them what you think.
Come on.
I fuck with you, Moo. Down south rap.
I'm very much over here, man. Come on now, you know what it is. So appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Make sure you guys tune in next week, and we are up out of here. Peace.
Girl, you rockin' like